Your life at every level of passive income. There is a number that changes everything. Not the number in your salary, not the number on your lease or your car payment or your credit card statement. A different number. One that most people never think to calculate because nobody teaches you to. It's the amount of money you make while you sleep, while you're stuck in traffic, while you're sitting in a meeting that could have been an email, while you're at your kids' school play, at the dentist, at the gym, at dinner with your parents. The money that arrives without you having to be anywhere or do anything in that exact moment to earn it. Most people's passive income is exactly zero. They trade hours for dollars, and the moment the hours stop, the dollars stop. Their financial life is entirely dependent on their continued physical presence and participation. One bad diagnosis, one layoff, one accident, one burnout, and the whole system stops. This video is about what happens when you start building the other kind of income. Not as a fantasy, not as a highlight reel of people on yachts holding laptops, but as a real level-by-level look at what changes financially, psychologically, socially, as passive income grows from zero to numbers that stop making intuitive sense. Some of these levels will feel familiar. Some will feel impossible. All of them are real. If this is your first time here, subscribe and hit the notification bell right now. We break down money, wealth, and financial psychology in ways that actually reflect how these things work in the real world. Like this video, it takes 2 seconds and it helps more people find this content. Now let's get into it. Level 1. $0 per month in passive income. This is where almost everyone starts, and where, if nothing changes, almost everyone stays. You work, you get paid, you spend most of what you earned, you work again. The cycle repeats, and the repetition feels so normal that it becomes invisible, just the structure of adult life, just how things work, just what you do. You're 31 years old. You make $58,000 a year, which feels like enough until you sit down and map where it actually goes. Rent, $1,400. Car payment and insurance, $620. Groceries, $380. Utilities and subscriptions, $210. Student loan, $290. Going out, clothes, random life expenses, whatever's left, which is usually around $200 and sometimes less. At the end of the month, you have saved almost nothing. Not because you're careless, you're actually reasonably careful, but because the structure of your financial life leaves no room for accumulation. You are a pipe, not a reservoir. Money flows through you and out the other side. The thing that nobody explains clearly enough is what zero passive income actually means in practical terms. It means your time has no redundancy. If you take a week off, you do not earn that week's income back. It's gone. If you get sick for a month, you lose a month of income. If you lose your job, the clock starts immediately. You have whatever savings you have, probably not much, and a countdown timer that begins the moment the paychecks stop. It means every financial decision is made under the implicit constraint that you must remain employed and functional to sustain everything. The mortgage, the car, the groceries, the life. All of it rests on a single point of failure. You showing up every day indefinitely. People at this level are not struggling. Many of them are comfortable, even happy. But they are, financially speaking, one bad event away from a very different life. And most of them have never done the math on what that actually means. Level 2. $50 to $150 per month. This is where it begins, not with a bang, with barely a whisper. You opened a brokerage account 14 months ago with $3,000 that you moved out of a savings account that was earning almost nothing. You bought a total market index fund because someone on a forum said it was the boring but correct move. You set up an automatic transfer of $200 a month and mostly forgot about it. Then, one Tuesday, a small number appeared in your account. Dividends, $47.83. You didn't do anything to earn that $47.83. You were at work when it arrived. You were probably in a meeting about quarterly projections, listening to someone talk about synergies when $47.83 materialized in your account from the collective profits of thousands of companies you've never heard of. $47 doesn't change your life. You know this. It covers maybe one dinner out, or half a tank of gas, or a fraction of one of your monthly bills. Economically, it is not meaningful, but psychologically, it is enormous. Because for the first time in your financial life, you have experienced the sensation of money producing money, of capital working while you did something else entirely. You have seen proof, small and concrete and undeniable, that the alternative system exists and that you have access to it. This is the moment most personal finance writers call the spark. What they don't mention is how long it takes for a spark to become a fire, and how many people give up in the years between the two. You are now someone with passive income. The number is tiny, the direction is right. Level 3, $300 to $600 per month. 3 years later, your portfolio has grown. The automatic transfers kept happening even when the market dropped 18% and you had to actively resist the urge to sell everything. You now have a brokerage account worth $42,000 and a Roth IRA worth $19,000. Between dividends, interest from a high-yield savings account, and a small amount from a digital product you built once and mostly forgot about, a budget template that still sells 3 or 4 copies a month on Etsy for $12 each, your passive income is approximately $390 per month. $390 a month. This is the level where something real begins to happen in how you experience your financial life. $390 covers your car insurance, or your phone bill, your Netflix, your gym membership, and 2 tanks of gas, or 1 month of groceries. It's a real bill, a real recurring monthly expense that your money is now paying for without any labor from you. This shift in framing matters more than the number. You stop thinking about passive income as extra money and start thinking about it as expenses covered. The question changes from how much passive income do I have to what does my passive income pay for? And once you start thinking in those terms, the game becomes about eliminating obligations one by one, about converting your financial life from something that requires your constant presence to something that sustains itself while you live. People around you don't know any of this is happening. Your lifestyle looks exactly the same as it did 3 years ago. But underneath the surface, something structural has changed. You have a second income stream, small, imperfect, growing. Level 4, $1,000 to $2,000 per month. You're 37. Your passive income has crossed $1,000 a month and stayed there for 6 consecutive months. The sources have diversified. The portfolio is now worth $180,000 and generates about $560 in dividends and interest quarterly. The digital product line has expanded. You built 2 more templates, then an online guide, then a short course that took you 3 weekends to record and now sells consistently enough to matter. Between everything, the monthly number sits around $1,300. $1,300 a month. This is the level where passive income stops being a side story in your financial life and becomes a chapter in the main one. Here's what $1,300 a month in passive income actually does. It doesn't let you quit your job. Your job pays $72,000 a year, and you need it. But $1,300 a month means $15,600 a year that arrives without labor. Money that doesn't require your time, your presence, your energy, or your participation. You start to feel it in the texture of decisions. When your employer offers an opportunity with a higher salary but worse work-life balance, you actually have to think about it rather than automatically saying yes because you need the money. When a friend invites you on a trip and the tickets are $600, you don't have to move money around and sacrifice a bill. The passive income covers it. When your car needs a repair, you pay for it from the cash flow rather than the credit card. The trap is that $1,300 feels like enough to enjoy and not quite enough to change strategy. Many people stall at this level for years, pleased with the progress, not quite motivated enough to push further, comfortable in the zone between broke and free. The people who break through are the ones who treat $1,300 not as a destination, but as evidence that the destination exists. Level 5. $3,000 to $5,000 per month. This is the level that feels like a turning point, even though it isn't quite one yet. You're 41. The portfolio has crossed $400,000. The digital products generate $800 to $1,200 a month, depending on traffic and whether you remembered to update the sales page. You added a rental income stream 18 months ago, a small condo that you bought as an investment property, which, after mortgage, taxes, insurance, and the occasional repair, nets approximately $600 a month. Between everything, $3,800. $3,800 a month in passive income. Your job pays $6,200 a month after taxes. You're now at the point where passive income represents more than half of your employment income. You think about this a lot. You do the math constantly, recalculating, wondering if you're reading the number right. The psychological effect of $3,800 a month in passive income is difficult to fully explain to someone who hasn't felt it. It's not that you feel rich. Your lifestyle is still middle class. You still drive a 5-year-old car and buy groceries on sale and have exactly one streaming service at a time. But the fundamental nature of your relationship with your job has changed in a way that is profound and hard to articulate. You don't need this job to survive. You need it to maintain your current lifestyle and continue building toward the next level. But if it disappeared tomorrow, if the company folded, if you were laid off, if the role became untenable, you would not be in free fall. You would be inconvenienced. You would have to adjust, but the floor wouldn't disappear beneath you. This changes how you sit in meetings, how you respond to unreasonable requests, how much of your self-worth you allow to be tied to your employer's opinion of you. You are not free, but you are becoming unafraid. Level 6. $6,000 to $8,000 per month. You crossed a line somewhere in here that you didn't fully register until you looked back at it. Your monthly expenses are $5,400. Rent. You sold the investment condo and used the equity to upgrade your own living situation. Utilities, food, transportation, insurance, subscriptions, occasional travel, the random costs of being alive. $5,400 a month. Your passive income is $6,700 a month. Your passive income exceeds your expenses. On paper, this means you could stop working tomorrow and sustain your current life indefinitely, with $1,300 left over each month to reinvest and continue growing the asset base. On paper, you are financially independent. In practice, it is more complicated than that, and also more real than you expected. The complications. Taxes make the real math messier. Healthcare without an employer is expensive. The income streams have some variability. A bad month in the market or a vacancy in the rental reduces the number. You'd want a larger buffer before you trusted the system completely. But the reality? You go to work now because you choose to, not because you have to. This distinction is not subtle. It is massive. It is the difference between a door you're locked behind and a door you're choosing to stay inside because the view is good and the work is meaningful. And leaving isn't the point. Freedom is the point. And you have it. People at this level often don't quit. They stay in careers they enjoy, negotiate better terms, say no to projects that don't interest them, take sabbaticals without panic, build things they care about. They are not defined by their employment because their survival doesn't depend on it. The job becomes a choice. That's the whole game. Level 7. $10,000 to $15,000 per month. You're 47. Your passive income has reached $11,200 a month, and it didn't get there the way you expected when you were 31 with $0 and a vague sense that this was supposed to be possible. It got there through compounding, which is slower and less dramatic than every social media version of the story. It got there through not selling when the market dropped, through reinvesting dividends for 11 years when the amount was laughably small, through building income streams that felt stupid in the early months and obvious in retrospect, through staying boring in an environment that rewards whoever seems most exciting. $11,200 a month is $134,400 a year. This is the level at which passive income stops being a financial category and starts being an identity. You are not someone who has passive income as a side feature of your financial life. Passive income is the engine of your financial life. Your net worth grows whether you work or not. Your retirement account compounds whether the market cooperates or not. You have, at this level, solved the problem of money in a way that earlier versions of yourself would not have fully believed. But solving the problem of money reveals the next problem. And the next problem is the one that money never told you about. Time. You now have genuine freedom over your time. And freedom over your time means confronting questions that financial pressure used to answer for you. What do you actually want to do? What do you find meaningful? What gets you out of bed when nothing external is forcing you? Who do you want to be when you don't have to perform productivity for anyone? These are not financial questions. They're existential ones. And a lot of people who reach this level discover they haven't thought about them nearly enough. The money solved the easy part. Level 8. $25,000 to $40,000 per month. There is no single moment when this number becomes your reality. It accumulates the way all wealth accumulates, gradually, then suddenly, then so naturally that you have to remind yourself it's unusual. Your portfolio is worth $2.4 million. The real estate holdings, 3 properties managed by a property management company whose fee you used to find annoying and now don't think about, generate about $4,100 a month after all expenses. The digital business has grown into something that requires a part-time contractor to manage, generates consistent revenue, and takes you approximately 4 hours a week to oversee. The investment portfolio generates dividends and interest. There's a small royalty stream from a course you licensed to a larger platform. Total, $28,000 a month, give or take. At this level, passive income has created a structural separation between your economic life and your daily experience that most people cannot imagine from the outside. You spend money on things you used to carefully avoid, not recklessly, you are still who you are, but without the mental accounting that used to accompany every decision. The flight upgrade, the nicer hotel, the dinner where nobody looks at the right side of the menu. These are not indulgences. They are just choices, made without the background anxiety that used to follow spending like a shadow. Your peer group has shifted. Not because you became a different person, but because you now move through a world where $28,000 a month is table stakes rather than a ceiling. The conversations you're having, the rooms you're in, the people who seek out your perspective, All of it reflects an economic reality that you would have struggled to picture a decade ago. The strange thing is that you still remember what it felt like to have $47 in dividends arrive and feel amazed. That feeling, that specific, disproportionate wonder, is something you try to hold on to. Because the people who lose it tend to stop appreciating what they've built, and the people who lose that appreciation tend to be the ones who are never satisfied with any number. The number is not the goal. It was never the number. Level 9, $75,000 to $100,000 per month. You are now generating more money in a month of passive income than most American households earn in a year of active work. Say that slowly. Let it register. Not as a reason to feel superior. The system that allowed this to happen isn't purely meritocratic, and you know it. But as a data point about what compound growth does over long enough time horizons to significant enough asset bases. At $80,000 a month, the mechanics of your financial life have become a different discipline entirely. You have a financial advisor, and an accountant, and an estate attorney. You have quarterly meetings with people whose job is to make sure the machine doesn't break, to protect assets, minimize taxes legally, structure entities correctly, plan for scenarios you'd rather not think about. The overhead of managing this much passive income is real. Not burdensome, but real. You spend time on decisions that people at lower levels don't have to think about. Tax loss harvesting strategies. Which entity structure makes the most sense for a new investment? How to transfer wealth without triggering unnecessary tax events. How to give money away efficiently. Philanthropy enters the picture seriously at this level. Not writing a check to a cause you feel vaguely good about, actual strategic giving. You're donating $200,000 to $400,000 a year to causes you've researched carefully through a donor-advised fund that your accountant set up, with an eye toward impact that you think about the way you used to think about returns. What you've discovered about this level of passive income is something that sounds philosophical, but is actually practical. Beyond a certain point, the challenge isn't making more money. The challenge is deploying it wisely, using it to create actual good for your family, for your community, for the problems you care about, rather than just accumulating it because accumulation is the only game you know how to play. Money at this level is a tool. The quality of your life depends entirely on what you build with it. Level 10, $200,000 per month and beyond. The numbers at this level stop being personal and start being institutional. $200,000 a month is $2.4 million a year in passive income. To generate that kind of cash flow from a diversified portfolio requires an asset base in the range of $40 to $60 million, depending on the mix. To get there through the accumulation path, through saving, investing, building, compounding, requires either an extremely long time horizon, an extremely high income at some point, or a significant liquidity event, usually some combination of all three. Most people who reach this level didn't set out to reach this level. They set out to be free, or to build something great, or to solve a specific problem, and the money was a consequence of execution rather than the original goal. The people who set the number as the target, who said, "I want $200,000 a month in passive income," and built backward from there, they exist, but they're rarer than the story suggests. At $200,000 a month, you are the passive income. Your existence as a capital allocator is itself a full-time engagement, not in the sense that it requires your hours, but in the sense that your decisions have weight and consequence. Where you invest affects real companies. What you fund affects real outcomes. The portfolio you hold is not just numbers in an account. It is ownership in pieces of the economy, and that ownership comes with a responsibility that most people at this level either embrace or avoid. Your daily life looks, from the outside, remarkably ordinary. A good house, nice vacations, comfortable routines. The visible markers of wealth at this level are often quieter than people expect. The things that cost real money, the staff, the advisors, the legal structures, the estate plan, the giving, are largely invisible to anyone who doesn't know to look. What is not ordinary is the freedom. Not the freedom to buy things, that's a shallow version of what this level provides. The deeper freedom, to ignore the opinions of anyone whose judgment you don't respect. To take on only the work you find meaningful. To spend your time in alignment with your actual values rather than in service of someone else's financial goals. To be, in the most complete sense, the author of your own days. That freedom, not the number, not the portfolio, not the monthly cash flow, is what every level of this journey is actually pointing toward. The passive income is just the mechanism. What it buys at every level is the same thing: time, choices, and the slow, accumulating realization that the only resource that never compounds back is the one you started spending the day you were born. Most people will never build passive income to any significant level, not because they can't, because they start late, or they don't start at all, or they start and stop when the early numbers feel too small to matter. The people who build it understand something that the others don't. The early numbers always feel too small to matter. The point is to build anyway. If this video changed how you think about passive income, subscribe. We make videos about the real mechanics of money and financial freedom, not the version that's designed to sell you a course, the version that actually reflects how this works over a lifetime. Like this video, drop a comment about which level you're at right now, and we'll see you in the next one.